Why in the actual do people spend time, yet alone create content on the cringe fest platform that is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a cesspool of corporate propaganda, humble bragging, and virtue signaling. Half the posts on LinkedIn make you want to throw up in your mouth just from reading them. And yet, for the past 3 years, I've been posting content on LinkedIn every single day. I've amassed over 60,000 followers, which allowed me to start my own business that generated over $500,000 in revenue last year. And most importantly, the team over at LinkedIn sent me this hoodie. Look at that exclusive drip. Oh, here we go, here we go. It does have a stain just under the logo though, so nothing to brag about. And chances are, if you're not doing the same thing, posting on LinkedIn, then you're missing out on one of the best platforms to attract passive inbound business leads. See, the biggest ticket sales are often closed with corporations, not people, and LinkedIn is stuffed full of users from those companies. So if you can get your content in front of those users, it becomes one of the most valuable social media platforms you can use for your business. So in this video, I'm gonna be walking through everything I've learned about how to create content that gets impressions, followers, likes on LinkedIn, and you're gonna be able to do all of this without posting thirst traps. So let's break down the 6 steps that you're gonna need to think about to grow on LinkedIn. But first, if the idea of posting content on LinkedIn feels cringy, awkward, or weird, I want you to listen to me for a second. Imagine that you're the new kid at school. You go in on your first day, you have no friends, but you want to make friends. Now, if you go to school and just stay silent, someone might strike up a conversation with you, but chances are they probably won't, so you won't make any friends. On the other end of the spectrum, if you go to school, stand on the cafeteria tables and pour chocolate sauce down you, people are gonna think you're weird. Don't be that kid who doesn't talk to anyone, doesn't make any friends, because you can't rely on people coming up to talk to you and they're not gonna know who you are unless you say something. But also, don't be one of the weirdos who everyone's laughing at. All right, so step 1, figure out what you want to talk about. Now, the easiest way to do this, given that LinkedIn is a professional platform, is talk about the work that you're doing every single day. You're often learning things or developing skills or having success that you could share with other people that would be valuable to them. One of the best things I ever heard from someone was, you shouldn't be creating content for someone like yourself or ahead of where you are. You should be creating content for someone who's potentially a couple of years behind you or has been out of that role for so long that they've forgotten what's important. So that means if you sell social media management services, then you might talk about what's working on different platforms, editing techniques, which hashtags you should be using, how often they should be posting, or sharing analytics from some of your most successful posts and what those posts did differently. If you sell HR technology, then share what you're talking about with your clients, share the problems they're running into, or how other people in HR are getting their employees to actually adopt their learning platforms. If you're a recruiter, you might talk about the jobs that you're working, what the market's like, what skills are really important to candidates these days, which skills are trending and unique and make candidates really good. You might share success stories about recent placements or things that you've heard from candidates or objections that you've heard from hiring managers about why they didn't hire the candidate. And if you're a sales trainer, like myself, then you might be talking about the mistakes that salespeople make. You might be talking about cold email best practice. You might be talking about discovery questions you could ask, or you could just make content that's relatable for salespeople like I sometimes do. In other words, figure out your niche and try and make it something that you feel comfortable talking about. And the things that we feel most comfortable talking about are the things that we do every single day. So pick your area and then think about the things that you're learning or that other people often don't know that you can post as content. Step 2, networking. So let's go back to that first day of school analogy that I shared a moment ago. On your first day of school, you might not just try to talk to everyone, you might just go seek out the clique or group of friends that you are pretty sure are gonna have similar interests to you. Think like if you're interested in sports, you're gonna go and try and talk to the jocks. If you're interested in skateboarding, you're gonna go talk to the skaters. If you're interested in academics, then you might go chill out with the math club. Same thing applies on LinkedIn. Most of the time, regardless of what you sell or what content you're planning to make, there's other people already talking to that audience or talking about that topic. So jump on LinkedIn, go to the search bar and look for the keywords that relate to your niche, industry, or whatever it is you plan to talk about. Find the key people who are already talking about that topic and doing well, the ones with lots of followers. That's gonna allow you to do 2 things. Number 1, you're gonna be able to learn from their content. You can start to look at what makes it successful, what types of hooks they're using, how often they're posting each day. So you can just find someone who's doing this well and learn from them. But the second, more important thing is that by engaging with that person, by liking their content, by connecting with them, by leaving comments on their posts, by maybe even sliding into their DMs and striking up a conversation, they're gonna become more familiar with you. And what that means is they're much more likely to see your content and engage with that content. And if someone with lots of followers comments on your post or likes your post, it often shows that post to their followers. And therefore, you get exposed to a much wider audience. It's also a great way to make friends. I have lots of friends that I met on LinkedIn and have since hung out with a ton. Step 3, hooks. Now, some of the smartest people in all of history were never known. They were never famous. Heck, even smart people today aren't famous. I bet you can't name who won the Nobel Prize last week. Most of the time, the most influential people, the most well-known people, are, yes, smart, but they're also very good at communicating their ideas in a way that gets people to listen. Same thing applies to your content. Your content could be good, it could be informed, you could be a genius, you could know more about SEO than anyone else on the planet. But if you don't know how to communicate those ideas in your content, then people are just gonna scroll straight past it and never see it. So that's why you gotta play the game a little bit and get good at hooking people into your content. This is true for any social media platform. On YouTube, it's the thumbnail, the title, the first 30-second introduction of the video. On LinkedIn, it's the first sentence of the post, the first frame of the video, or the image that's attached to the post. I've found the best way to come up with hooks and use great storytelling in my content is by consuming good content, going out and looking for it. Open up your phone, open up LinkedIn, open up any social media platform in fact. Start scrolling until something gets your attention. And then spend a second thinking about what it was that got your attention. Was it something visual? Did they say something really outlandish? Were they really, really good looking? Was it a certain editing technique? Did they ask an interesting question and then go ahead and answer it? Like if I open up my LinkedIn app right now and I start scrolling, I can start to see things that don't hook me and things that do. And once I start noticing the things that do hook me, I can start using those in my content. Let's have a quick scroll here. Use AI to build 8 pivot tables. No, thank you. That sounds complicated. This person sat in a dark room. I didn't really see their face. This looks interesting, but I'm not really sold on that one. I saw 61% for a second there. This person obviously used a thumbnail.
LinkedIn's B2B marketing event in Stockholm. When you start a company, it's terrifying. Moments like this are pretty amazing. This is a photo from B2Believe, LinkedIn's B2B marketing event in Stockholm. Some of our insights at creator.
That one hooked me. And the reason it hooked me is because I saw his image and I saw 61% behind his head. And I was like, what, 61% what? I need to know now, you know? In that case, the thing that hooked me was seeing the number, seeing his face. I could use something like that in my content to talk about reply rates or cold emails, even though this guy's talking about marketing and content marketing. Let's keep going. We'll find another post. Things shorter than the TikTok ban. I'm recording this video on January 20th, by the way, so TikTok got banned on Saturday and then unbanned like yesterday, so this is a great hook. It's relevant and timely in the news to get someone to hook into the video. Things that are shorter than the TikTok ban. The Godfather trilogy, My Attention Span, Vine, Kevin Hart. That's quite funny. I'm gonna like this one. Let's keep going. I'm halfway through dry January and I stumbled across the best life hack ever. I'm curious about this. I'm someone who gave up drinking for 9 months, so I'm curious to see if this is something that I could have used or did use. Most people think dry January means you can't go out. This is where they're wrong. Tell friends that struggle with drinking that you want to go out. 2, start saying we only live once, we might as well have a couple. 3, when it comes to buying drinks, so this is a shit post, it's just a comedy post, but it's pretty good. Let's keep going, that one didn't hook me at all. Starting Blue Monday, don't care. Burger King, ooh. Okay, this one's good. This Burger King partnership is amazing. I laughed so hard. And the image, as you can see there, is of a Burger King logo behind a married couple. I'm like, immediately like, why Burger King at a wedding? Joel and Ashley got married and their Burger King paid for their entire wedding. So now I want to know what this is about, why Burger King did this, and how it worked. So now I click more, and now I'm looking at it. Yeah, I got hooked. So those are a couple of examples, but there are a ton more ways to hook people into your content regardless of what social media platform you're using. One of my favorite resources to look out for hooks and learn about this is actually a newsletter called Creator Hooks. I've left the link in the description so you can go subscribe and check out their website. I think they even have a list of like 20 hooks that you can use today available for download. Not affiliated, just one of my favorite newsletters, and I always find it really interesting to learn about YouTube videos, thumbnails, and things I can apply to other social media platforms as well. Number 4, be different. So there are probably tens of thousands of people who talk about sales on LinkedIn, and yet I'm probably in like the top at least 100 most followed. The thing that really separated myself from everyone else who's trying to gain a following by talking about sales techniques and training online is the fact that I kind of do things a little bit differently. I post humor, I make things relatable. I'm a bit more astute than a lot of people. I'm not afraid to swear and speak my mind. I also lean very much so into my personality and have been doing this for quite a while now. So it's almost like a case of looking at the space that you want to get into, the following you want to create, looking who else is creating there, and then looking for the white space that no one's filling in. 3 years ago when I started posting on LinkedIn, I was creating like TikTok skits and that type of thing, and I was cross-posting them to LinkedIn, and no one at the time was even using TikTok. So it really helped me stand out because they were funny, original, and they were video content that fewer people were posting on LinkedIn back then. So look at the following you're trying to gather, the customers that you're trying to attract, who they follow, and then look for the white space. What isn't being discussed? Is there humor content for developers? I don't know because I'm not a developer, but you got to go and find the places where other people aren't filling in and see if you can add your own style, your own flair to it by being a bit more creative than everyone else. Basically, don't be boring. I know it's easier said than done, so I'm actually going to plug something that I made recently, which is a B2B content playbook, which mostly applies to LinkedIn. It shows you how to film, edit videos, come up with ideas, create memes, and all of it is based off the success I've had in the B2B space, business to business space, which has been mostly on LinkedIn. There's also a link to that in the description, and it's got a 20% off coupon. So if you are looking to get better at video content and come up with new ideas for your content, that one might also be helpful to you. Now, number 4, you're probably thinking, Will, okay, you're talking about all these things that make great content, but how is this going to help me actually sell things or attract leads to my business? Well, that's where you want to get smart about how you do things. Generally, the idea of content creation is that you affiliate yourself with a certain topic. So I talk about sales on LinkedIn all the time. I talk about sales training. I talk about people getting low response rates to their cold emails and LinkedIn messages. And I give out free advice on how to solve those problems. And what that means is that when someone actually has a need or wants to get sales training, I'm one of the first people they think of. So just passively, people do tend to just reach out to me and come to me and say, hey, I love your content. Could we talk about working together? Another person who does this really well is my friend Raina Van Boozicon. Raina posts videos on how to edit videos, how to trim, cut, shoot great videos. And they get quite a lot of engagement. And what that means is if someone watches Raina's video and then actually has a need for a video editor or finds the things that Raina is teaching in their videos too complex to do, then they're gonna go to Raina and reach out to them. You can also promote your product or service and let people know what you do in your content, but I wouldn't overdo this. For every 10 posts, I'd maybe make one that tells people about what you do, what you offer, or a success story of one of your clients. No one, even people on LinkedIn, go on social media just to see ads. So if you end up advertising too much in your content, it's just not going to perform and you're not going to get the results that you want. So feel free to mix it into your content mix, but don't overdo it, or try and find creative ways to layer in your offering and telling people what you do with either value or humor. All right, and step 6, the final tip, consistency. I'd recommend posting on LinkedIn at least once a day. You can post up to twice a day. It's not going to hurt you. In fact, it has proven to help me. One caveat I'd make there is that you make sure the 2 posts that you do in the same day aren't too similar. So they may be on a different topic, or one's a video and then one's a text post. So that's an option, but at least once a day. And it's important to keep this up for a decent amount of time. That's for 2 reasons. The first, LinkedIn, and pretty much every other social media platform, rewards you for uploading videos more frequently. It also gives you more chance for your content to land with the right people and resonate with them. So you kind of just need to post on the platform to keep the algorithm happy with you. But the second thing it's gonna do is it's gonna let you get better at it. If you do anything daily for a significant period of time, you're gonna get good at it. It doesn't matter if it's horse riding, jogging, playing video games, or posting on LinkedIn. So by posting every day, you get more practice, you get more of a chance to see what's resonating, and that way you can double down and do more of that in the future or do less of something that didn't work. When I first started posting on LinkedIn, I was working at a software company, and I posted every single day for 3 months before I saw any type of real success or measurable results. It was only after that point that I could actually start attributing some leads that were coming from LinkedIn to my pipeline that was eventually closing. So you gotta stick at it to give yourself the best chance of popping off, but also just to get good at that new skill of yours. Work out those muscles, baby. So Zach, same reason why you should try and learn as much about sales as possible. And if you're looking for a place to do that, this channel is a great one. Be sure to subscribe to Sales Feed. Check out some of the other videos we've done on the channel on topics like cold emailing, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, discovery techniques, presentation techniques, and negotiation. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.